Go.
Are we good? Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
I gotta turn my volume up. Okay. All right. So we are super excited that y'all are here tonight. I'm Kristen Bridensteel, despite it saying that I'm Jennifer Powers. There's two Jennifers. I'm the fake one. Anyway, so we wanted to start with just a little recognition. So y'all are here because you are either a senior consultant, you sold at least $1,000 last month, or you had one recruit. So I am just going to give everybody that doubled their PV requirement a little woohoo. So Amanda Holbert sold 2,039. Jessica Moore sold 2,080. Ashley Pettis, 2,115. Debbie Cohn, 2,120. Amanda Perez, 2,242. Erin Buskin, 2,361. Jessica Casper, 2,364. Y'all should like wave your hands if that's you.
That was
Renee Nagel, 2,381. Wendy Harris, 2,443. Talene Bliss, 2,496. Kathy Fuel, 2,915. Wendy Cameron, 2,971. And then starting with 3,000, Jamie Strickland, 3,050. Jell Gregory, 3,052. Megan Junkie, I'm probably butchering that, 3,088. Missy Holweger or Michelle, 3,134. Juliette Quintero, 3,162. Julie Sears, 3,337. Amy Tilley, 3,636. Kelly Knight, 3,977. Jamie Beeler, 4,136. Courtney Adams, 4,372. Jennifer Powers, the real one, 5,233. And Tammy Jones Davidson with 6,657.
wow.
Those are some awesome sales.
Yes.
That was awesome.
And then with our amazing $49 deal in May, we had, where did that number go? Oh, I think you were sending it to me in different places.
There were 85 total.
Yes.
85
Okay. So 85 people had at least one recruit. 45 had two recruits or more. That's amazing. And then starting with 3 recruits, we had Kristen Gill, Renee Nagel, Tanya Castillo, Minetta Miles, Kelly Knight, Debbie Cohn, Jennifer Roberts, Brandy Evans. Those all had 3. And then 4 recruits apiece was Jessica Moore, Jamie Beeler, Ashley Likens, Erin Buskin, Lisa Sales. Oh, wait. Oops. Hold on. Erin Buskin and Lisa Sales had 5. Sorry. I forgot to stop. So then with 5, we have Erin Buskin, Lisa Sales, myself, Rebecca Nolt, Pam Plummer, and Julie Sears. And then with 6, we had Anna Goodwin and Jennifer Warenshold. And then with 7, we had Ashley Pettis. And then Courtney Adams had 9 recruits. And our amazing SED, Kristen, had 13 new signups. So, wow. Yes, amazing. Wow. So congratulations, everyone.
So we have a lot of newbies that we all need to work with. So, and with that, we can hand it over to Lisa Sales.
Hello. Thank you all so much for being here, and congratulations for earning a spot. I have been with 31 since December 21st, 2010, and I remember that so easily because it was our anniversary that I signed up, our wedding anniversary, and I promoted to director in the fall of 2011. I don't really remember the month. I guess I could look it up easily. I am a mother of 4. My oldest is 21, 24, and then we have triplets that are 22. And they just graduated from A&M in May, and we're moving into a new house right now. So things have been really kind of chaotic. And I'm the kind of person where if one thing is out of place, I can't really think straight. So I'm gonna just throw that in as a little explanation for why this may not be my very best performance. But here's my little file of the 5 love languages. The mothers of preschoolers groups in the area invite me to come and speak, and I've been going for probably 6, 7, 8, 9 years or so. My oldest was 5 years old when I learned about the 5 love languages. And funny story, when he was 2, we were talking about, getting pregnant, and I just kept telling everybody, like, how do I love another baby more or as much? It's not possible. And then we found out we were having triplets because it was a spontaneous pregnancy. And then I was really traumatized, like, how am I going to love 4 kids all the same? And that was something that was really on my mind. And so this 5 love languages, I feel like really was a gift for me to help me and my little family. And I wished I moved so many boxes trying to find my book on cassette, because that's how old my book is. It was the first thing I think I ordered on Amazon, and I accidentally clicked audio, and it must be what God knew that I needed. And I also own the book for couples and teenagers. But you don't have to spend the money. So much information is online on YouTube. There's probably a Facebook page. I haven't even tried to look into it, but I'd like to just give you an overview because it really is valuable information. And my husband always says, of all the things I've made him read, of all the things I've tried to make him do, all the mumbo jumbo, this psychology behind the way humans love each other, want to be loved, want to feel loved, really worked for our family. And so there's 6 of us that, I have proven, or I have tried and tested, and it's proven to work in our family. So, with that being said, let's start on the 5 love languages. Gary Chapman mentions in the book that children that feel loved tend to be easier to discipline. Husbands that feel love hopefully will reciprocate, your love language. I have 4 sisters and a brother, and we're all different, and my 4 kids are all different. So what I want for you guys to take away is to realize that if your love language is acts of service, which is mine, and your husband's is quality time, no matter how many times you clean the garage or wash his car or fill it with gas, and then you sit there waiting for him to acknowledge your hard work or your kindness, and you don't get it, you don't have to be mad at him. You don't have to bottle that up anger and let it build on the next one. This gives you permission to do those things for yourself. Clean the garage because you want the garage clean. Wash his car because you want to do it. Don't do it to show him you love him, because he just wants you to sit next to him on the couch and hold his hand while you watch his favorite movie. Now, I can't begin to imagine how many relationships fall apart because there is miscommunication. So that's what this 5 languages does. It helps you speak the same language. So how many of you were able to take the quiz and know what your love language is? Most everybody. Sweet. So I hope as I'm talking, you can just see how once it really is easy. It really is easy to figure out how this can work for good. So the 5 love languages are physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, gifts and acts of service. And like I mentioned, I have one of each. I'll start with gifts because that's one that I don't have. Isn't that neat? 4 kids and not one's love language is gifts. But my niece Morgan, her love language is gifts. And I have seen her literally do a backflip when my mother-in-law bought her favorite cereal. She was staying with her for the weekend. She's like, ah, and did a backflip. And when she was little, my mother-in-law would buy, things at the dollar store for her because you could just see her genuine love and excitement for gifts. And so it's not always something that you buy from the store. It's picking flowers from the front yard and bringing it to her. You picked up a pretty rock and said, hey, Morgan, this is really neat. I thought you might like it. Going shopping with them so they can pick special gifts for other people. That's an important act for those with gifts as their love language. Treasure hunts for them to find their gifts. All these little tricks are tips that are in the book. So that is a good reason to buy the book, but it's probably all online also. If your husband's love language is gifts, something that I like to suggest is to start a journal in January, and you could do this annually and write little notes to him, things that make you feel love that he's done, and then every year at Christmas you can give that to him, or make a little scrapbook out of it and put pictures from romantic dinners or family vacations, or a silly picture of yourself. But if his love language is gifts, the tiniest littlest things work. It doesn't have to be something that's expensive. No, we'll save questions for the end. The next love language is quality time, and that's my husband's and one of my daughters, Peyton. And that was really tough when you're one of 4 vying for mom's quality time. But before I even knew about this book, she really, really was just evil, mean, cranky. If I hadn't taken the time to put her on my lap and read her a story, or just the 2 of us were in the bathroom while I was trying to brush her hair and put it up in a bow for the day. It was really neat to read the book and define her love language, because I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. But once I did, game changer. All through high school, she wanted me to go in at the end of the night. She wanted to hear about my day. She wanted me to hear about her day. One time, her senior year, I walked in with my cell phone and she said, oh, if you don't have time to talk to me today, you don't have to come in. Well, I wanted to punch her, but that's her love language. All through college, she'd call me on the way to school or on the way to work, and I would trip over furniture to get to the phone on time because I knew it was important for her, for me to be available and to listen to her day or whatever it is that's going on in her day. Quality time seems like it should be easy because you just take her with you when you run errands, or you sit next to each other while you're watching TV. Well, my brother-in-law's love language is quality time, and he doesn't like for my sister-in-law to be on her phone or her laptop, because to him it's like, you're not there. So it can be a little trickier for some than others, but complete attention in the quality time is important. Eye contact is important. Remembering things that they said. Whenever she says something like, hey, remember I told you about, and I'm like, no. I just told you yesterday. Weren't you paying attention? says the multitasking mom. Can you remind me again, please? Sitting together, planning special events together, making the grocery list, dinner time, all that stuff counts as quality time. And if your child is quality time, bedtime routine is super duper uber important, and don't try to skip it or shorten it. Peyton is loves hard and plays hard, but she wants her quality time. All through college, she would plan her coffee dates, her lunch dates. She had, she's very organized, and so she knew what time slots during the day she could fill out. And when nobody else would do, she had a sister she would call to fill in the spot. So that's quality time. And my other daughter, Jordan, is words of affirmation. She is the English major. She loves the written word. She loves to read. She loves to write. And just as much as words can build her up and fill her up, they cut like a knife and tear her down. And her sister figured that out. And it worked. For one and against the other. But Jordan, when she was little, she would make up words. She put two words together. I wanted to create a new dictionary just because she was really good at that. So we weren't surprised at all when English was her major. But it was important to Jordan to receive compliments, and you can't do the fake ones because she sees right through those. Speak positively to them and positive about them. If they can hear you, compliment them over the phone to grandma, to your husband. That's gold to the words of affirmation. Of course, the notes in the little lunchbox. Jordan had the notes all around the mirror to, remind herself about how awesome she was and, being a princess in God's eyes. And all those little tips worked for Jordan. Write letters to them for birthdays and Christmas and any milestone, and I bet you she'll treasure them. Always say, I love you to the words of affirmation. The quality time wants them to show you. The acts of service wants you to show them, but the words of affirmation wants to hear the I love you. Okay, physical touch is pretty much most every man. If not, it's one tied with physical touch. And so hopefully, sitting next to the couch watching their favorite movie will help with the physical touch. But my son, my oldest, is physical touch, and he played with my hair all the time, in church, going to bed, standing next to me talking. He did it once in high school in front of his friends, just out of habit, and we both were like, did anybody see that? Oh, how do we recover? But he's the sweetest boy. In kindergarten, he went around and hugged everybody. And I just knew he was going to come home one day because somebody had punched him in the face for giving them a hug. But at church, he helped some of the, oldest little ladies from their car to the front door. He took that job very seriously. Hold hands, again, put them on your lap when you read story during story time, sit next to each other when you're working on any project. Also, the physical touch when they get in trouble and it's time for a timeout or punishment. If you can hold their hands or put your hands on their shoulder, you really get their undivided attention. And then that punishment kind of goes to another deeper level because you've added the physical touch to them. That's how you're gonna get their attention. Okay, and so the last one is acts of service. So that would be Jake, the triplet, whose love language is acts of service. And he wanted to go in the backyard and dig a hole after every peach, every plum, watermelons. He's like, Mom, let's go grow a peach tree in South Texas. Mom, would you please lay out my baseball gear? You have baseball kids, that's a lot of gear. You know, for sure, Jake to me was easy because we speak the same language. So anything that he asked for, I got ice cream for that kid till high school. Finally, my husband was like, okay, Jake, I think you're old enough to get your own ice cream. But he is the best kid in the whole wide world and is engaged, and his fiance's love language is acts of service too. So I hope that works out best for both of them. If your child is acts of service, that means you got to practice whatever sport they play. You got to tackle football. You got to catch the baseball. Go practice hoops with them. Work on a project together. Oh my goodness, if they ask you for brown construction paper when they come home tomorrow from school, make sure you get the brown construction paper. If not, it's just traumatic. Check their homework. Pick up on time. Those little things are important. For drop off on time at a birthday party, pick up on time from school or practice. I don't understand what that says. Oh, teach them to serve others when they get older, because it is, that all about me, all about me. And once they figure that out, that's like extra love, extra reward for the acts of service kids. So that's, just a little bit of all of the love languages. And I guess we can open for questions now. That's about 30 minutes. For our family, it was a game changer. My children, well, now they're grown, they know their friend's love language. I've learned my sister's love language. My baby sister, I was always buying little trinkets for her. And we were at the beach one time and I was on my phone and she's like, could you get off the phone? My love language is quality time. And if you're here sitting with me at the beach, this doesn't count. And I'm like, it's not gifts. I can quit buying you gifts. Yay! But now she lives in Illinois, so I've got to go see her up there. It just, I hope that the wheels are turning in your head and that you can kind of figure out what your loved one's love language is. But the goal to master this skill is just to put you on the same playing field. Because that book talks about, a boy who didn't get along with his dad, didn't have a relationship with his father because all he wanted was quality time. And the father was like, I bought you a car. And the son's like, I just wanted you to help me fix it. So it's things like that make me really sad when I hear about them. So I tell people I would travel the world teaching the 5 love languages and Jesus if I could. And so 31 helps me do a little of both. The girls on my team, about January of every year, we retake this quiz and we talk about it. We start the conversation, goes right. You can do it in February with the girls, the women in your VIP group, because it's the love month, and every day cover a different topic and get the conversation started about how they feel loved, what they do for their children. And it really is a simple little tool to use every day for all of your relationships. So
I was just going to ask you, how do you apply this to your 31 business?
Well, as I get to know my hostesses, sending thank you notes are really important to me. And so I try to and I notice when somebody responds with, "Oh, thank you for the thank you note. You really didn't have to." To me, that's like acts of service. So that makes me give them a little bit better customer care attention. I have a 3-ring binder because I'm old school and I have paper for everything, a binder for everything. And it's my VIP group or my VIP binder. It's mostly filled with hostesses, but also my really good customers. So I have a page for those people that if I have an extra special one day, I, will reach out to them and say, "Hey, I've got this." Or if I'm tired of looking at the stack of nail files and want to send out, happy mail, they're going to get one. The ladies on the team is how to reward them. One girl on my team will call me as often as she can. So I know she's quality time. So once every 3 months, we meet for lunch or coffee. And, she's one of my consistent girls. So feed her, she gets excited. It's that little seesaw that I was telling Jessica about before. It's like when you feel, acts of service, quality time, physical touch, you're filling their love tank, which should make them want to do something for you, which makes you want to do for them. It's supposed to, that's what makes the world go round in the 5 love languages. Let's see. Should I be reading the chats? Is somebody saying something?
Let me move it open. Let's see. Kristen Gill was saying her highest score was words of affirmation. It can sometimes be difficult as a nurse.
Yes.
To get that. Do you have everybody in your downline do this test?
Well, I'm not really good at having them do it when they're brand new, but the last 2 or 3 months I've had, a big group come on. So that will be something that we talk about. I've created groups for, I've got 2 different groups going, but like I said, that's like the beginning of the year kind of a thing for me. I like to do it in February in the month of love. This is what we do on my VIP page and consultant page.
Let's see. Jennifer Roberts says she has it as part of her team survey when she gets new people. So that's a really good idea. You could put the link to the quiz on your survey, or if you've got somebody new thinking about joining or they've joined, you can send that to them. And then let's see.
Love language is gifts. That's a nail file or a key fob or a candy bar. And if it's words of affirmation, then that's texts and phone calls and, note cards.
I like to give things. I don't know if they want it or not, but I like to give things.
I don't think you can ever go wrong with that.
No, I'm a big gifter.
So when we first learned this, in 1999, I think it was, my husband, we did the quiz, we read the book, we talked all about it. So he started washing the dishes since 1999, and he figured out that translates better for him. So it just works. So then, I have the house a little bit cleaner when he comes home at the end of the day, because I know that's important to him. And so again, it's just that, let me do something kind for him. So and you don't do it out of manipulation. I need a new bag, so let me do this for him. That I think everybody can see right through that. So hopefully, about the same time that this book came out, Dr. Laura Schlesinger came out with her book, The Proper Care and Feeding of Husbands. And it was the same basic thing, God had it right in the Bible when it said, husbands, love your wives, wives, respect, honor your husbands. That's a love language. That's just feed them how they need to be fed, and they'll feed you. How many husbands here carry our bags to the car and put labels on our catalogs for us and do whatever it is that we ask them to do? Oh, I hope most of us can, say that. But it's a great tool for all of your relationships.
So I have a question.
Yes.
If you feel like, for me, I feel like I have a lot of them, a little bit of a lot of them. I don't feel like there's like one major one, and it's been a while since I've taken the quiz, not recently, but I know gifts is definitely one of mine. But I also feel like as I've gotten older and where I am in my stage of life now, that acts of service is become more significant, like the dishes,
Mm-hmm.
and even quality time, has become more. And now that I am a mom, my perspective has changed a little bit from what it used to be. But so my question is, how do I identify what's really my strongest one, but then not just on me, but like on my team members, or, how do I identify what they are, to try to figure out, and I haven't read the whole book. I know bits and pieces of it, but I haven't read it. But I might just have to I'm pretty sure I have it on Audible already. I might just have to listen to it on my drive home from Kansas.
Yes. Yes. The quiz just gets your brain to thinking, because you're going to read all of the answers and you're going to go right to the ones that are yours. But you're going to start thinking, picturing, oh, I bet you that's them, or I bet you that's them. My daughters, they want to know your Myers-Briggs and your 5 love languages. And that's just to help, the relationship and speed things along. So it's just another personality trait to help you try and understand, people better, and maybe speed date, if you will. You don't have to, let me do something nice for them, see how they respond. Let me offer to cook dinner for them. This is like, so have you heard about that 5 love language book? Do you know what yours is? And, just to jump through all of that. And Jennifer, there is a small percentage of the population that we all need all of them, for sure. But just one is going to speak to you stronger than all the others, which means that's what you need to fill your love tank. If your love tank is full, you're going to do all of the above for all of the people that you know. But my best example is me being an acts of service and busting my butt to clean the garage, and having my husband come home from work and not saying one word about it. And it doesn't mean anything to him. Oh, okay. And that made it okay for me not to be mad at him, because that's not his love language. But how many relationships, how many people would have fought about that? I can't believe blah, blah, blah. So it's like, if you want the garage clean it for you. Don't clean it for him. Don't clean it for anybody else. So, I kind of got off a little scot-free, because he just wants me to sit down next to him on the couch and hold his hand. So I can do that. And he doesn't mind if I'm writing thank you notes or have the laptop, thank the Lord, on my lap. So I think the more you dig into the definitions, and then see what people do for you that bring out the best for you, that then make you, it's like, if it's gifts, the last time somebody gave you a gift, what did you in turn do for them? I guess I'm sensitive to caffeine, because back even in my 30s, couldn't really drink. And Dr. Pepper was my only vice. Like, I didn't need alcohol. I just needed the Dr. Pepper with all those babies. And so Dr. Pepper came out with a caffeine-free soda, but only the store way across town had it. And he would drive like 30 minutes to go and get the caffeine-free Dr. Pepper for me. It's Dr. Pepper. Technically, it could be a gift, but for me, it was an act of service. He drove all the way over there to make his wife happy so I could have a Dr. Pepper after giving 4 little people baths at the end of the day. So I hope that helped.
I think also you can be a couple different ones depending on the situation. Because I know in my regular job, I like getting compliments from my bosses because I do a lot of the bulletin boards and the artwork and things like that, and I like to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know that they think it's cool, and if it goes up when I'm not there, somebody else gets all the good feels, and I don't get any of the good feels because I happen to be not there when they installed it. I feel kind of sad because I didn't get the pat on the back. So I think it depends on where you're at and who you're around, what you want.
Yeah. So your gifts may be a close tie with words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself, is it easy for you to give compliments?
I try to. I do. I try and recognize, different things and say stuff to people and really reciprocate. So.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Open the chat. Jennifer.
You can unmute yourself. Go ahead. Or I got you. It's not working. I somehow can't get Jennifer to unmute. Unmute audio.
Jennifer, you're going to have to unmute yourself.
It says she can't. Maybe she'll type it.
In the lower left-hand corner, you don't see the mute. Press the mute button. There, now talk.
There, it worked
Yep.
that time. It wasn't working. So anyway, so the link that you gave us, can we just share that with people?
Yes. Did you like that quiz?
Yeah, it confirmed exactly what I knew, but.
Let me see. There's also an app. It's got a clever name. Love Nudge.
Love Nudge.
Love Nudge. It's purple, and it has a heart on it. And it gives you, I think it'll send you tips and ideas to do for those that you love. That the 5 love languages of your teenagers, one of the examples it had for words of affirmation was to compliment them. And it's like if your child or teenager sets the alarm every day, compliment them that you're very proud of, them taking responsibility and being mature enough to get out of bed and get ready for the day. And so I went in there one morning and I was like, Jordan, I'm so glad you set the alarm, and then you get to be mad at the alarm in the morning and not me. And she's like, oh, thank you, Mom. And I turned around and I was like, that worked. So, the book and the app are good for ideas of things to do. With that being said, our kids were relatively easy to discipline. But that's the big formula. But I guess there was 4 kids, and they take turns picking on each other for who the favorite is, which makes me feel like they all feel like they're the favorite. So they all feel loved. And, that was, that was what I worked hard every day to try and fulfill.
We have any other questions? You can unmute yourself if you have one, or type it in. No.
So are you going to have your husbands take, your significant others take the quiz? Have your moms, your sisters, everybody take it, and just start the conversation. It really is, my older sister, when she found out my love language was acts of service, she started, when she'd come over, she started washing dishes. She's like, hey, do you need more water? And then I found out her love language was quality time. So that changed a little bit too. Yeah, I think my siblings are all quality time, and mine was acts of service. We grew up with a single mom who worked a lot, and I felt the most love because everything she did to me was acts of service. When I could buy my first pair of Jordache jeans, I knew what a sacrifice that was. And when she had to miss their football game or baseball game because work or a meeting, it was traumatic to them. So, these are the things that are going to be interpreted differently by the different people in your life. The same act is seen differently, received differently. My brain's going. I can't think of any other tidbits to give out there, but we're all on Facebook together, so we can keep the conversation going on our tribe or private message me. Try it, test it, see if it works. Create your seesaw. Go love your people the way they want to be loved, in the language they will most receive it. And the love just bubbles up. Love makes the girl go round. Love is all you need. Love is gentle. Love is kind. It's a good thing. Oh, if everybody just felt love, can you imagine what this world would be like? Yeah, there's a reason why God prioritized love God, love each other. And so the 5 love languages are just to help us love each other well.
I feel like there was a direct salesperson, one of the guru people, that had basically a 5 love languages thing. I'll have to see if I can find it on like how to apply it to your business type of thing a little bit. I want to say it was Mary Christensen that had something, but maybe it was somebody else. I can't remember now. I'll see if I can't figure out who that was, and share that.
Ask your customer before you have a relationship, hey, what's your love language? But we can definitely define the terms and how to translate it over to your customers. If
right.
It's pretty, once you know what the 5 love languages are and the definitions, it's pretty easy to know how to acts of service your child, and acts of service your husband, and acts of service your customer, your sister, your brother. It's just knowing the delivery system and being aware that there's different ones. There's a book out for children called A Perfect Pet for Peyton or something like that. And so you read this along with your child, and it's to help them define their love language, in a little trickier way. When I read the book or heard the book in 1999, it said not to try and figure out your child's love language till they're 5, because from 0 to 5, they need all of them. But like I said, Peyton, I mean, boy, she 2 or 3 years old, she needed her quality time. And then there's 5 languages of apologizing. So, however much time you want to spend to learning these tips and tricks and techniques, I think it's all good, because we're in the relationship business. So we've got to arm ourselves with just, all the tools we can.
Awesome. Kristen, aka the other Jennifer.
I think I'm good. I don't know, but Kristen Gill did find a good blog that has, it looks like, some good info on it.
Okay.
So, and a lot of it, the first thing is talking about gifts. It said many companies send swag to customers as an extra thank you. I was just thinking of 31 because that is one thing that they love to do for us.
Right.
So same thing with Happy Mail to customers or consultants on your team or anything. So I think it's fun to look into it more.
I was just thinking, I have a customer, and every time she orders, she just ordered last month, it's going to be late at night, and she wants me to sit there. And she orders big almost all the time, but it's a process. And literally, I had not thought, I might have thought of the words high maintenance, but what you just said is probably all of it, is that she wants me to sit with her, because to her, she does love to give gifts, but she wants that time with me to make sure, that quality time to make sure what she's ordering is perfect and what she wants. And it just dawned on me when you were talking, and I thought, oh my goodness, that's what it is she wants my time, not in a bad way, but so there you go. And Jennifer, I think Mary Christensen is a little bit different. She does have some personality tests, but it's not the 5 love languages. But she does use personality tests with your.
But she does have an app though for the personality test. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay. Yeah, you're right. That's what. But I remember there being an app and talking about the different things. But yeah, you're right. It's a personality test.
Yeah, it's good too. They go really well together.
Right. Morgan would like to say hello to everyone. Oh, now she doesn't. Okay. All right. Lisa, great job. Thank you so much.
Thanks for taking time out of your unpacking.
Yeah, I just kept watching the time. I stopped at 8 so that I could catch my breath. Literally trying to run a marathon around here.
That's funny. Well, thank you. So we will save this recording, and Jennifer will she'll save the link, and then we will send it out to everybody that earned the call tonight. So
awesome.
And then we can all find Lisa on Facebook. If we have any other ideas or questions, we can start sharing what we come up with.
Yay!
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Good night, ladies.